Developing this noon, traffic beginning to move along the turnpike. We're going to go to 7's Ralph Rayburn over the scene of what appears to be a situation there on the roadways.
It's almost afternoon, almost the noon hour here. We are in Skyforce HD over a police pursuit here. This is a police vehicle, motorman following, along with a county vehicle, following a red car that's believed to have been involved in a shooting that occurred in Hallandale about 10 minutes ago or so. They put out a description of that vehicle, and it was spotted on I-95 up there in Hallandale. The address they gave me was 916 Northwest 10th Street. A double shooting occurred there in front of a residence, and the vehicle that fled fits this description. The police officers are following now. They've been trying to get the vehicle to stop here on I-95. It is in the HOV lanes. Let me brighten the camera up there a little bit for you as it continues southbound here. That's the extent of the information that we have, is that they are trying to get the vehicle to stop. The Broward Sheriff's Office asked for assistance from the county and from other agencies down here in Miami as the vehicle fled out of their jurisdiction. You can see right now we have a Miami-Dade cruiser there, along with a uniformed police officer on his motorcycle, and the red vehicle in question. Now there's another vehicle there, that Challenger or Charger right there, that's adjacent to the vehicle, trying to get that vehicle to slow down. It does fit the description of the vehicle that they were looking for. There were supposed to be 2 occupants in that vehicle, and now they're paralleling that vehicle. And if you give me 1 second here just to regroup a little bit and get my scanner back up a little bit higher, I can find out exactly. But they are going to follow this vehicle. They are trying to get the vehicle to stop. It is now pulling over, and it's doing a lane change here. Now we have one vehicle in front of it and several vehicles behind it. They are trying to get it to stop here. We are at about 62nd Street, a little south of 62nd. I'm looking out my window here. Actually make it about 46th Street, stopping in the middle. We got a bailout. One person there being pursued now by the police. They're taking off after him. The other person has stayed in the vehicle. We've got police officers chasing. He jumped over the guardrail here and flipped down off the embankment here. We've got some other officers. It looks like he's been tased, or he's hurt himself jumping off that over that ledge right there. Joe, can we slide back just a touch? And we have one guy, and he's incapacitated here on the ground just outside of the I-95 expressway. Approximately, we're going to revise our address here. We're going to put it closer to 25th Street or 26th Street and I-95. You see the 2 Miami-Dade police officers there trying to clear the hurdle of the fence. We're going to put our extender in here and zoom in a little bit more. You can see the guy laying on his side right there. Appears to be, as we said, incapacitated. Unknown whether he injured himself jumping over or whether he was tased by the police as they went over. We lost our location there for a second as he's got his hands raised. He's complying with police orders to give himself up. We're going to stay with this shot for a second. Now, just to tell you that traffic is ground to a halt on I-95 southbound. This all happening in about the last 10 minutes out of Hallandale. As we said, there was a shooting, a double shooting occurred at that location. The location I gave you, 916 or 996, I'm sorry, Northwest 10th Street in Hallandale, and the vehicle fled the area. The shooters believed to be in that car. They got a description of the vehicle. They boloed it out, which is a be on the lookout for that vehicle. It was spotted on I-95. Broward Sheriff's Office was following, asked for assistance from the county. You saw the takedown live here on WSCN, and that's pretty much what we have for you right now.
All right, Ralph, just to recap then what we've seen in the last couple of minutes, because it has been a lot in a very short amount of time. You say that this started as a double shooting in Hallandale on 996 Northwest 10th Street. Then this police pursuit ensued on I-95. Now, in that vehicle, were there 2 people or just the one that we saw bail out?
Well, we have another one in handcuffs right here, so we're going to go with 2 for now. Those are we saw the one person bail out there, where they look like now they're going to be processing him and getting him in the back of a police car. You can see the roadway here closed. Actually, we've got a 3rd suspect here. I was going to call them suspects or subjects, as they are taken into custody by police. So you've got one being put in the back of car number 19434, and you've got one leaning over the back of car 17268, and then the 3rd person is over here in the tall grass where these other vehicles stopped right here. They're standing over the guy right now. We understand that fire rescue has been called. to the scene here to render aid in this because there may be an injury to one of these people that fled from the police when that vehicle stopped right in the middle of I-95.
Yeah, and just thinking about how it all ended right there when that vehicle stopped in the middle of 95 with traffic still going. No other vehicles were involved in any type of accident or anything as this came to an end?
Well, you know, we kind of trained the camera off of that activity to follow the person running, but right now, let me just bring the camera back out here and show you. You can see there's traffic that is stopped here. It backs up from about 25th Street here just to before the 112 expressway on the south side of it. So there is traffic there. There are a lot of onlookers now, and police are trying to process this as quickly as possible. Of course, this becomes I guess a part of a crime scene here as they took several subjects in custody right here when they took them out of this red vehicle, including the one that ran over the embankment there, jumped over the embankment and ended up laying on his back here, the guy in the white and the blue. There are 2 officers now with him in custody. And back to you guys.
And Ralph, we see that there are 3 suspects there in police custody. The other 2, did they stay in the car? They apparently did not try to run?
Well, again, we were following the other activity, so that when the cameras, wherever the camera's trained is where we're looking. We saw the one person jump out. When we swung the camera back over, both of them were in handcuffs, appeared to be complying with police, so they may have decided it was not a good idea to flee there in the middle of I-95 during regular traffic hours there. So they were taken into custody and being processed as we swung the camera back over there.
Ralph, okay, as you stay with us, it has certainly been a busy day in the 7 Newsplex and a busy day for you. It started with that traffic nightmare that we covered earlier today, and now this on I-95. Just to recap, for those of you who might be joining us at this hour, a double shooting on Hallandale Beach at 996 Northwest 10th Street. Then police issue a be on the lookout for the ending to all this on 95 southbound at 26th Street, roughly. And there you see that suspect now in police custody as well. In all, we're talking about 3 people in police custody at this hour. Their role in all of this, the bigger picture, that's still unclear. But we can certainly tell you what a mess.
Just at this point, really just picking up information, trying to get details to be able to report them to you.
All right, Brandon, we appreciate that. Keep gathering details for us on that end. And in the meantime, you're looking at live pictures on your screen. 7 News at noon on the scene of a developing story. Several people in custody at this hour after what started as a shooting ends with a chase, then a bailout. Now 3 people in custody as we continue to sort through the details of all this. 7's Ralph Rayburn was there when it started and is here now to fill us in on more. Ralph?
Well, let's just backtrack and tell you that on our way to the tanker accident, which was going to be our noon live shot, we heard a call and we shared that information with our Broward desk. Our desk heard the same information and then diverted us to head toward I-95, and we did. We could hear the chase coming southbound on the radio through the Golden Glades interchange, and then as it approached 103rd Street, they temporarily lost sight of that red vehicle that we showed you a little bit earlier. Then the Broward Sheriff's Office got on the radio and said that they were behind the vehicle and that it was refusing to stop. They requested assistance from an aviation unit from the county. I don't know whether that unit ever launched or not, but we were out there. We saw the vehicle, the red vehicle as it was described, coming southbound in the HOV lanes at a pretty good clip, a pretty high rate of speed there, not complying with the officer who had the motorman who had his lights and siren on and trying to get the vehicle to pull over. It passed 79th Street and went through by the 112 in traffic, and then several other Miami-Dade cruisers pulled up, one alongside of it, and then that one was able to get in front of it and force it out of the HOV lanes. It appeared for a moment that they were going to stop, but just pull off the side of the road and stop, but it stopped right in the middle of I-95, and the passenger side front door opened, and one of the people inside that vehicle bolted into traffic and was nearly clipped by a vehicle that was passing on the right-hand side there. The police occupants of the vehicles that were pursuing got out of their vehicles and ran after that one suspect, as the other people that appeared to remain in the vehicle, including the driver, they were taken into custody. We saw them in handcuffs. In the meantime, the person that jumped out of the passenger side front seat jumped over the guardrail and over the fence there on the retaining wall and tumbled down, and we could not tell whether because of the trees and the ground covering, we couldn't tell whether or not he was injured from the fall or if he just gave himself up. But he is in police custody now. He's being walked by police to a waiting police car here off the side of the roadway off of I-95 at approximately 23rd or 24th Street on the west side of I-95. Let's bring the camera back out here. We've been watching them process. Here on I-95, you can see traffic merging to the HOV lanes, or to the center lanes there. We've got 4 lanes of traffic that are blocked there. The red car remains in the middle of the road, and they're going to be processing. That's our story here at Skyforce HD. I'm Ralph Raven reporting live.